And we're live late, but better late than never on free agency deadline day. The fun day that all us hockey nerds that are passionate about it, i.e., Jeff and Mitch. He's not here, but Mitch as well. Um, this is a good day, but it's also a sad day, Jeffrey. Because
Yes.
after the third, it's no more hockey, really.
I know.
Until August, September, whenever
Don't
training
remind
camp
me.
starts. But obviously, with that, the signings, all the big fish have gone, essentially.
Yes.
We'll obviously recap those and everything, and then anything else that kind of breaks, we'll kind of break that. But mostly, those will kind of be depth kind of signings. But still, I think the biggest one, obviously, that was out there today was Panarin,
Yes.
Duchene,
Yes.
Myers, if you want to throw him out there as well. Goaltending wise, you had Cam Talbot on the market, Sergei Bobrovsky, Leonard, who I don't believe has been signed yet.
He has not yet been signed.
I've literally just coming into this now. I've just got off work, so I might be a little behind on this. So to begin, I'll throw it over to my partner in crime and
Yes.
Jeff Quake and the Carter Hart jersey.
Yes. Hey, Carter's got to have some.
In the middle of summer, he is wearing a hockey jersey. That's how devoted this kid is.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. So I honestly don't know where to start, but really the biggest one. Well,
yeah.
let's start with the biggest names. Artemi Panarin. It was in a mix between the Florida Panthers, possibly the Columbus Blue Jackets made one last push. I heard apparently the Colorado Avalanche a 6-year deal, and then the New York Rangers are also, the team to possibly sign him. And out of nowhere, he decides. Well, not necessarily out of nowhere, but then that he does decide New York for the Rangers, 7 years.
Because that was weird. Because
$81.5 mil,
nothing really.
11.64 cap hit. What a deal for the Rangers and Panarin. But go ahead.
But it was weird because it started out near the end of the season to maybe to the playoffs a little after. It was maybe he'll go to Florida.
Yeah.
Because Russians love the Florida and heat and everything. He could play
There's
with Bobrovsky
also,
again.
yeah, I was going to say, there's also the rumor that Panarin and Bobrovsky would want to be a package.
Yeah. And then there was the one that came out last night that I was really surprised about is the Islanders. The Islanders were in there.
Yeah.
Which I was even the New York team that I wouldn't really expect to be going after a big shark. Big target out there would have been the Islanders. But that would have been interesting to see him
Absolutely.
in Islanders colors, but go for the Rangers.
Yeah, no. So with this signing now,
But I think it changed this offseason when they won. They didn't really win, but they kind of won for them.
They kind of won.
The draft lottery.
The draft lottery.
Because
I'll put
last year they were top 10, I want to say, draft wise. And then this year they got the second overall pick.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was a toss-up whether it was going to be
Hughes
or Kakko. It was pretty much for the longest time set in stone it was going to be Kakko, but obviously it ended up being Kakko. And I think that kind of changed everything. And instead of the past couple years, mainly maybe 2 or 3 years, they were always, even last year, selling off pieces and seemed like they were doing a kind of a rebuild. But I think that kind of changed it. Also, when you're in New York, there's that. So I think it was a mixture of that and kind of the Flyers thing of maybe heads up being we need seats in the stadium.
Yeah.
Obviously, Madison Square itself can kind of sell itself, but you still need to bring a product out there to bring people back. And I think they don't like that they've been out of the playoffs for the couple years, so second overall pick kind of sets in stone all these other moves.
No, absolutely. I think it's huge for New York, and the fact
even
that
the little trade they made today to get rid of VC, I think was still something to help them get Panarin.
Exactly. No, absolutely, 100%. And that trade was Jimmy VC to the Buffalo Sabres for a 2021 third-round draft pick. It's ironic because that's where VC originally was going in the NHL, but then he decided not to Or it was him, and I guess it was went to Nashville or something, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Then got flipped to New York, but now all know, but then that he is back in Buffalo. So that I think that's pretty big for Buffalo.
And for VC itself, just to touch on him for a second, I even texted you when you told me that. He was kind of not the highest kind of prospect, but coming out like a high American kind of prospect.
Yeah, he was expected to do pretty good things.
We're like, oh, this guy can be.
A
this
pain.
looks exciting, like an exciting kind of guy. I was even like I think even rumors that the Flyers might go after him and everything because the skill set and everything he brought, but he didn't really bring it really with the Rangers.
Not a whole lot.
And I don't know if it's like a Dylan Strum situation where a new home might
it
change
could.
things.
You
and
never
obviously,
know.
when you're playing for the Rangers, that might for him or for anyone who really plays for them, maybe a little heavier just because it's a big city. You're playing in Madison Square Garden. You're a young kid coming out.
Yep.
Now you're just going to be playing in Buffalo, which still has a great fan base and everything, but definitely not as crazy as playing in Madison Square Garden.
Right. So there's a lot of moving pieces today. One of the other big ones, Sergei Bobrovsky, officially 7 years in Florida.
7 years, $70 million.
Big move there for Bobrovsky. And really...
Which it really wasn't a surprise, especially the moves you saw Florida making.
Yeah, with all the goalies
late.
and everything.
They traded to get Scott Darling.
Yes.
Luongo retired, so...
They needed a goalie. It was no surprise.
Now they needed a starter, so they cleared the cap space they needed to that their goalies took up, and they used that money essentially to get Bobrovsky.
Right away, though.
But after that, now thinking about it, would they have even been able to afford Panarin?
I don't know.
Florida.
And then, here's the other thing.
They have $4.8 million in cap now.
Well, here's the other thing. They also lost Matt Duchene to Nashville. He went to the Predators for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Duchene?
Yes, Matt Duchene. 7 years, $56 million, $8 million per year. Good deal for him there.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a good presence, obviously, for the Predators. It's going to help, and he is going to be back with Kyle Turris.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, I'm sorry, they never played together because Turris was part of the 3-team deal for Duchene.
Yeah. Some other big ones, obviously Joe Pavelski found a new home. He's not going to be able to wear number 8, but 3 years, $21 million, $7 million cap hit, which honestly for Pavelski is more than I thought.
Yeah, no, it was definitely more than I thought, but it's all in all, it's still a very good contract for him. I'm happy for him. I would love to see him in orange and black, but of course that's way too much for Philadelphia to pay for. But hey, best of luck. So, some other big ones. Jonas Donskoy going to Colorado.
They also, just to stay on
Yes.
Dallas for a second, they also signed Corey Perry.
1 year,
same
1.5
age, a lot less.
Yes, just a bit.
Which really kind of shows you, I guess, maybe injuries or whatever. They wanted to take a risk on him, but not too long. So, a little thing. But my guess, because I was even thinking about this today, I guess like how I would have thought that maybe Perry would have thought he would have been worth more. But I wonder if Dallas would have been a little tough love. It's like, you're 34 now.
Well, that and also the injuries.
We're paying you the money that you are, the player you are now.
Yes, exactly. But there's so many moving
But that's
pieces.
2 moves for the Stars at least.
Yeah.
For a team that made it to the second round.
Yeah.
2 veterans, capable veterans.
Mm-hmm.
Old rivals.
Yeah.
Now having to be teammates, possibly on the same line.
Imagine that.
Unless they put Perry 3rd or 4th. Or he might be hurt.
And then, of course, Jonas Donskoy, 4 years, $15.6 million, $3.9 million cap hit. that's so slowly but surely, Colorado's getting very good. They also did sign Pierre-Edouard Bellemare to a 2-year deal. I believe is $1.5 million. Another depth move.
Depth moves there.
Yeah, but
Timo
suddenly
Meier also re-signed with San Jose.
Yes.
4 years, $24 million, $6 million guaranteed.
Yep. Matt Zuccarello to Minnesota, 5 years, $30 million, $6 million per year. They also signed Ryan Hartman, 2 years, $3.8 million, $1.9 million per year. So obviously that's way too much for Philadelphia.
And after all the craziness with Ryan Hartman, he found a new home for 2 years.
Yeah,
in the Minnesota Wild.
It was funny because apparently he did. He tweeted out saying that the whole time he did have contact with his agent or somebody.
He wasn't left in the dark. And some kind of older players, or another bigger one too, is Tyler Myers is leaving Winnipeg and joining the Vancouver Canucks, which I think the Canucks listened to our last podcast, Jeffrey.
They were.
When we were talking about the Canucks, I said the one thing they kind of need is kind of that number one shutdown defenseman.
Here's my thing: is
Tyler Myers really isn't that, but it's a
start.
He's an upgrade.
Yeah, it's certainly a start. My thing is though, Mike. Did they overpay for him? 5 years, $30 million, $6 million per year.
They did, but I think
they need to make some sort of move.
They did, but I think anyone was going to overpay for Tyler Myers. Because that's the one thing with free agency too, is that some of the higher guys, even though they might not be the best, because obviously the best defenseman that was out there was Carlson, and he signed kind of early on. Re-signed early on with San Jose. And then the next best was, you could say, was Tyler Myers, but that's a huge drop-off. But so you would think more teams were like, I want this guy, so they would pay him more. That was the one thing I was fearing with the Flyers, is that they might go after him and pay that much.
Right.
Or a little more. But he is now in Vancouver, which, again, another move for Vancouver where they're getting a little more interesting.
They certainly are. Vancouver, because they also, remember, they traded for JT Miller. So they're making some moves, and it's certainly going to help.
Veteran kind of moves, but still moves that'll help.
They also
team.
signed Jordy Ben, 2 years, $4 million, $2 million per year for the cap hit. And Oscar Fantenberg, 1 year, $850,000.
And I'm sure Flyers fans aren't going to like this, but this was one that kind of happened 40 minutes ago or so. Wayne Simmons is now a New Jersey Devil.
Yes.
For a year, $5 million.
Yeah, I mean, good for Simmer.
But that's the one thing I even texted Mitch because he was the one who texted me that he signed.
Yeah. In New Jersey.
I guess how did I phrase it?
So while you're looking that up, all I have to say is this.
Oh yeah, that's what I guess the market for Wayne Simmons wasn't as high as I thought it was going to be.
I mean,
for 1 year, $5 million. And I wouldn't think New Jersey would be the number one.
I really didn't think New Jersey was going to land him at all.
I have two theories on this.
Yes.
My first one is I think he wants to stay close to Philly.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Mostly because charitable things and everything.
Yeah, I thought he was actually going to come back to Philly.
He would have been too much. $5 million.
No, I know that, but I'm saying
you thought possibly.
It was definitely a possibility because really for me, New Jersey came in as kind of the dark horse team.
I didn't really hear anything about Wayne Simmons, honestly. Anything where he was going.
The only thing I heard was that he was talking to apparently the Flyers, and the Penguins were interested. That's all I heard.
But he was definitely not going to go to the Penguins.
No, because let's be honest, his last game as a Flyer, he concussed one of the Penguins.
Yeah.
So
and then next closest place to Philly would obviously be New Jersey.
Yeah,
you can probably argue Washington, but New Jersey's a little closer.
Right.
Or, this is my second theory, is maybe that little time he played with Subban he liked, and he wanted to go where Subban was.
Yeah.
To try for a year instead of just a half year. Those are my two thinkings of why he signed with New Jersey. And some goalie signings here. Cam Talbot is no longer a Flyer. He is signed a 1 year, $2.75 million contract with the Calgary Flames. Mike Smith signed 1 year, $2 million with Edmonton. And obviously we talked about Bobrovsky, when those are kind of the bigger goalies at the moment. All the other goalies that were out there are kind of depth signings. But there was something I kind of brought up to you before we got onto the podcast.
Yeah.
Is Talbot really, is Smith really an improvement for Edmonton goaltending-wise from Talbot? I know it's only for a year, but...
Not necessarily. He's just getting up there in age.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, they only have $3.9 million.
Right. It doesn't. There's not a whole lot they could do. Not only that, but because I did hear that it sounds like what's his name? Varlamov could be gone in Colorado. Doesn't sound like he's going back, so that's always a possibility. But
that would have been too much for them.
That would have been too much probably. But I don't know. I have nothing against Mike Smith. I like him as a goalie and a person. But it doesn't excite me that Calgary decides, or sorry, not Calgary, Edmonton. We said.
Yeah, but I guess he's just going to be, because they have Mikko Kaiskinen, who I think is just going to be their starter, and Smith might just be the backup.
Yeah.
And then Strollers was a free agent this year, right? He's a UFA?
I believe so.
I'm not seeing him on the roster, so that's the only reason why I say that.
Then there you
go. But the only thing they have to worry about now is...
Imagine the Flyers could re-sign Anthony Stolarz.
Mm-hmm. The one thing, though, they have to worry... that Edmonton just has to worry about is... either re-signing Poirier or whatever they do with Poirier.
Yeah.
Whether they trade him or whatever. He's the last remaining RFA or UFA they have to worry about. Even depth-wise, he's the last move they have to make. And another one, which I am very surprised about, was just an extension to Brendan Tanev and the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yes,
for 6
that
years,
was
$21 million, $3.5 mil guarantee or cap hit.
Yep.
Which
it's
again,
a lot. It's a lot.
Again, Jim. Again, did you not learn from Jack Johnson? Apparently not, Jeffrey.
Apparently not. I don't mind Brandon Tanev, but for that amount of years and that kind of money, that's a little much. That's to the point where
he's getting paid a little more than Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson's $3.25 mil, and Brandon Tanev is $3.5 mil.
So now here's the kicker for Pittsburgh.
They have at the moment they have $1.5 mil in cap space. They have to reassign Teddy Bluger, Aston Reese, Pedersen, Marcus Pedersen. 2 other depth guys, Joseph Blancy and Adam Johnson, and that's it. And then next year,
they still have to re-sign Zach Aston Reese. That's not good because he's going to get paid.
And not just that, the one thing you do have to worry about is next offseason, you have to worry about giving money to Matt Murray. He's an RFA. He's an RFA next offseason.
The Canadians have announced that they have tendered an offer sheet to Sebastian Aho. The proposed contract is for 5 years with an average annual value of $8.45 mil.
Good boys, Montreal.
Oh, man.
That's why they traded Shaw.
Yeah. Wow, look at that.
That was another thing that happened is Shaw was traded to Chicago. He's back in Chicago again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, forgot about that. Things just got very interesting, folks. So here's my thing. So also,
they did say Montreal did say they were going to counter anything that comes out, but
I just said it was what
okay. At the moment,
because
Carolina has $22.69 mil in cap,
so
almost $22.7 mil. That's enough to, I would think, to
so
possibly resign him. But
if it's what I say, 5 years. $8.4 mil.
Yeah.
So that falls in between the line. Actually, it depends on how much exactly that is for the 8.4 mil. It's 8.45, and that's important because
Are you saying that what you have to give up for that?
for the offer sheet, because it's 8.454
I'm trying to find it. I saw you
mil.
tweeted it out.
I tweeted a picture. It's so they would have to give up. Well, here's the thing though, because
there it is. So they have to give up 2 firsts, a second, and a third round pick.
Yeah, well that's
or would it have to be a first, second, third
right?
round
That's why I'm
picks?
confused, because that's why I'm trying to find the extra $100,000 worth, or the extra $100 or whatever it is.
My guess is
it would have to be the extra.
I think it's the first, second, third round picks. I think
that's what I was thinking. Because the first, second, and third round picks, it would be 6.3 between the range of 6.34 mil to 8.454 mil, but with 871 $100 extra dollars. Literally, it's $1 more.
Mitch texted.
Let me guess. Same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was the one that was lately been rumored that teams were going to offer sheet.
Yeah.
Which, I mean...
But here's the crazy thing. We actually witnessed an offer sheet.
Yeah. I mean, if there was going to be an offer sheet, it was going to be for this offseason.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of good RFAs. And not many of them have signed yet either. Marner hasn't. Point, I don't think, has. Bline hasn't.
Man.
Provorov hasn't. Konechny hasn't.
This is the first. Well, wait. Here's my. Yeah, this is the first offer. Wait. Let me ask you this. When did the Flyers offer Shea Weber all those years ago? What year was that?
2014, I want to say 2013, somewhere around there.
I need to look it up.
It was with Holmgren, so
yes,
probably his last year. If I had to guess.
Oh, it's 2012. But this has been the first offer sheet we've seen since 2013 for Ryan O'Reilly for a team. Wow.
Now we'll just see what Carolina does.
Because
are they okay with getting a first, second, third?
But I feel like that's not enough for Aho.
It might not be, but that's what they would have to give up just because of that. Or do they just say, maybe not. I was going to say maybe they say, okay, you want to try this? We'll do a trade instead or something like that. I don't know. Oh, I didn't realize Chris McElhaney went to the Lightning.
Yes.
2 years, 2.6 mil, 1.3
there's
cap hit.
So while we're doing some other stuff, looking up all this information.
And Valtteri Filppula went back to
He's back to Detroit.
Yeah.
Gus Nyquist goes to Columbus, 4 years, 22 mil, 5.5 cap hit.
Carpenter, I don't know if you've said that one yet.
Not yet, but he goes to
Chicago. 3 years, 3 mil. Yeah. Keith Kincaid signed with Montreal. 1 year, 1.75 mil. He's always kind of been a kind of solid backup in New Jersey, so.
Yeah.
It looks like Montreal wants to try to compete again.
Yeah.
What did they get back? Now thinking about it, in that trade for Shaw. I forget. No, it was just it was Andrew Shaw in 2021 7th round pick for a 2020 second round pick, 2020 7th round pick, and a 2021 third round pick. Wow. Oh, and another big one too. This was a couple days ago, but Phil Kessel is no longer a
Yes.
Penguin. Because that's the one thing. For some reason, Jim Rutherford is really good at trades.
Yeah.
Not so much the signing part. Because he pretty much got rid of Mata to Chicago and Phil Kessel to bigger contracts. And they got Galchenyuk back, which was $4.9 million for only a year. And then gave all the rest of that money to Brendan Tanev. For some reason. Are you tweeting that now?
No, I'm trying to look up information for the Aho breakdown for the offer sheet.
Oh, you're not going to hear that for... You're going to give that a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
That's something that's going to take... A breakdown of Pierre LeBrun. Go to him.
Yeah,
Breakdown
nice.
offer sheet, 11.3 mil surplus, plus 1,700,000 salary in 1 year, 9.87 on year 2, 6.95 in year 3, 5.25 plus 750,000 in each of year 4 and 5. That is from Pierre LeBrun.
Yep.
More than $21 million paid out in the first 12 months for Sebastian Aho. This is getting interesting.
This is.
Not just the offseason, just teams in general.
Right, exactly.
Because I was expecting more like re-signings and stuff, but it's been a lot of guys just not going back.
Man, this got real interesting real quick.
It did. A lot of teams.
They're talking about it currently on TSN right now.
Mm-hmm. Don't really get TSN.
Huh?
Don't get TSN.
I'm live streaming it, so.
Like I said, hockey nerd.
I am just trying to get.
Mm-hmm.
I'm annoyed because I want to just put like captions on so I can like watch and just read at the same time, but I guess that's not the.
Yeah. Those are kind of the bigger name signings at the moment.
There's also
Jordy Ben, 2 years for
nah,
a mil.
that's not that big.
I know. Just
sorry.
I wasn't really thinking big. I was just thinking what money was.
There's a few. It was Richard Panik, 4 years, 11 mil for the Capitals. Brett Connolly, 4 years, 13 mil for Florida.
Oh yeah, and there's I don't know where you saw it, but that
Tomas
Janssen is probably leaving in Boston.
Yes, because it was announced that Boston signed
Connor
Nick Ritchie, I believe. Or no, sorry, they signed Connor Clifton because someone told me that Nick Ritchie's going to Boston, but I'm not seeing his name up here. But not up there yet. But Connor Clifton, 3 years, 3 mil. Yeah.
To Boston?
Yes, to Boston. Carolina has a week to match. Okay, so it is official. The compensation will be a first, a second, and a third round pick for.
Got it.
Yes. The compensation.
I'm not seeing them on here. I got so excited for 2 seconds.
Why is that?
Because I refreshed Cap Friendly, and the first thing that came up there was Ivan Prostiatov. And I saw Ivan and PRO. I was like, Provorov? And it was not. Still has
I'm
not
sad
been done.
now.
Yeah. But what do you think is the most surprising outside of this?
Outside of obviously the offer sheet, because that's the most surprising.
That's
'Cause I
that's
feel
always
like-
a big surprise.
Right, because I love
happens.
seeing offer sheets. But like besides not only that, but the Canadians just surprised me. The fact that
it doesn't surprise me of late, because it seems like late they seem to be more aggressive. Like even they were trying to poach Ghost for the longest time.
right. Well, they can't do that anymore since their
'Cause-
trading piece and Andrew Shaw's gone.
Yeah.
It's the worst report I've ever seen. All right, let me put this. Okay, so here's what surprises me. Mark Bergevin is your GM, right?
Yes, I think.
Yes.
1 second.
Yeah, he's still their GM. It just surprises me that the fact he's actually making smart moves like this. This is unbelievable. I
Yeah.
never thought I would see
But
him
also,
make smart decisions.
I think he also wants to give Claude Julien a team that can actually
Yes.
compete, because the other teams he's given Claude Julien hasn't really been that.
Yeah.
There was even rumors for a little bit that they might be trading away Druin, but I think those
Really? That would be
I think
interesting.
those went away though. It was right around the draft, but I think that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
They do still have Wheel and Weiss.
Yes. So what's really so going back to about Aho for a second. David put Nada of the fourth period announced. What's very interesting about Aho accepting the offer sheet is how it might affect others. He's confirmed that Patrick Laine is willing to explore alternative options if talks with the Jets go south, which has not happened just yet. So keep that in mind.
I think this, though, if there's another team that was kind of like on the edge of giving an offer sheet to someone, I wonder if this is kind of their like, okay, we aren't going to be the first team that does an offer sheet to someone. Let's just try it and see what happens.
My thing is that
Because if Winnipeg loses out on Line, I don't know what's going to happen there.
yeah. My thing is that if you're going to offer sheet anybody, I was expecting Braden Point or Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Sebastian
I
Aho
think
is a very good player still.
I think the most everyone thought about was Marner, just because they after they signed, this happened the other day, but Kasperi Kapanen and Andreas Johnson
Yes.
To their deals. Now they just have $9.3 million in cap to try to sign
Yeah.
Marner.
Wow, look at this. It's 5 years, $42.25 million contract of an offer sheet for Sebastian Aho.
They also signed Jason Spezza too
Yes.
for very minimal, $700,000.
Yes. So while that's all going on, some other moves around the league. Sammy Blaze staying in St. Louis, 1 year, $850,000. Brandon Peary and Tomas Nosek staying in Vegas for Peary 2 years, $1.55
But
million.
it does seem
Nosek $1 million.
not to backtrack a little bit, but going back to Montreal.
Yes.
Some of these moves lately seem like a team that's
Wants
more
to get back
willing
into
to-
win mode.
yeah.
Not only
and
that, but
obviously understands what is ahead of them in the Atlantic.
right. But again, it's just surprising to me just
Because they signed Kincaid,
Kincaid,
which is
yes.
great for them
Yes.
because he always had the backup Schneider. Schneider was either meh or hurt, so he would always be good in any kind of situation, kind of at least Flyers wise.
Yep.
Whenever they played him, so he's a solid backup to Carey Price. Still have Carey Price who can still shut him down. You still have Shea Weber who can still do pretty well. And now if you add Tom, and they were pretty quick last year. I think I think they saw how well they did last year and kind of fell off. I thought a couple pieces here and there might prevail us forward, and Aho might help that a little more too.
Yeah.
Because you can put him, Aho, and Druin on a line together. It's pretty filthy.
That would be. Also, you have Kotkaniemi.
Yeah.
And I feel like that for Cole Caulfield, because they drafted him with their first-round pick, he can make the team.
He could.
Even if you throw him on the fourth line, that's a very good team already.
Mm-hmm.
And you're getting under Claude Julien
feels on him being on the fourth line, or has.
Well, right. I'm not saying he would go on the fourth line, but I just if he makes a team, which I feel like he should, that's already a much better team than last year.
Yeah, but it's still not good enough to.
Right. It's not good enough, but it's a start.
With all the other teams that have improved to try to get the wild card spot.
Start.
Because you could argue they could possibly. Yeah. Because you could even possibly even throw Florida now in there.
Yeah.
A little more, not so much just because they added Bobrovsky. Which is good goaltending wise, but Bobrovsky was never. You need more than just Bobrovsky to be able to make it. So like I said before, it seems like at least, I don't know if I said it on the podcast yet, but I texted you that all the teams in the East,
they're getting
better.
Yeah. And then looking at yeah.
Did you see what Tim Raday tweeted 3 minutes ago?
Oh gosh. What did Tim tweet out now?
He responded to the Montreal's tweet about the Aho thing. He said, when did Montreal add Paul Harmon to its front office?
Oh, that's so funny. I love Tim Raday. All right. So with Philadelphia, just very quickly, just to kind of recap what they did, because they did quite a bit today. It was all depth news.
Depth news.
It's all depth news, but still, it's, we want to get the names out there. So they have signed on Andy Andreev to a 2-year contract, AAV of $750,000. Curtis Gabriel to a 1-year, 2-way contract, AAV of $700,000. Defenseman Nate Prosser, 2-year, 2-way contract, AAV of $700,000.
Prosser and Andreev were both 2 ways.
Yes.
Gabriel was 1 way.
Defenseman Andy Welinski, 1-year AAV $750,000. Tyler Wotherspoon, 2-year, 2-way contract, AAV $700,000. J.F. Berube, 1-year, 2-way contract, AAV of $700,000. Chris Bigris, 2-year, 2-way contract, AAV of $700,000. Same type of contract for Kyle Chrysulo, and that's it. So they signed a bunch of players.
Very surprising to most is they bought out Trumpko for some reason.
Yes.
Which only really saved him $125,000.
Yeah.
Because even if you just bury him in the Phantoms, you still saved over $1 million.
Right. Interesting tidbit from John Shannon of Sportsnet here. Apparently, Matt Duchene he said he was close to signing in Montreal.
Wow.
So that kind of says a little bit more about the whole Aho thing, I think.
It also shows how much, because I didn't even see this. They have $11.8 million in cap space.
Yeah.
And that's before the Panarin or Aho.
Right.
But my guess was then their backup, their main target, I guess, at the moment was to try to get Panarin. They lost on Panarin, so their backup was Aho.
Yeah. And also Matt Duchene.
Yeah, but they also lost out on him.
Well, again, that's why I think that speaks out more, and that's why they're going to get or trying to get Aho.
Yep. Nick Shore resigned in Toronto. 1 year, $750,000. Oh yeah, also this. Calvin Pickard has a new home in Detroit.
I did see that. I did see that.
2 years, 1.4 million.
I did the same thing you did. So you know how Ivan
Yeah.
Prosvedov.
You
Yeah,
did the
I
same
saw
thing. You went
that.
to Cap Friendly.
No, I saw that on Twitter. Arizona said official Ivan Pros. I'm like, oh my. Oh wait, never mind.
He's not in Arizona.
No. Thank God.
Arizona might be better too.
Yeah,
Even though it's just Phil Kessel,
they
but
did lose out. Sorry, not lose out. They did trade
Alex
Galchenyuk,
who again is going to be one of those players
Yeah.
that's seen as better because he's with Crosby.
Yeah, I do think the fact that, but they also got rid of Pierre-Olivier Joseph. That might hurt a little bit, but in order to get Phil Kessel, that's pretty worth it.
I don't know though, because lately on Pittsburgh it seemed like there's a lot you kind of have to handle with Phil Kessel. Because Mitch was telling me, I don't know if you read, there was an article that came out in Pittsburgh talking about like how Phil Kessel like the game or a day before games he would go to the casino in Pittsburgh or whatever, and that kind of tipping point was he was taking some of the younger players with him, which they weren't a big fan of.
Can't imagine why.
And he wanted to be on the line with Malkin, but Malkin doesn't want to be on the line with him, or didn't want to. So it seemed like they did not have the greatest of relationships near the end.
Also, I know
Which
Kessel did
I
not
feel
have a
that
good
was the
relationship
same way with in
their
Toronto
coach.
too.
Huh?
I feel that was the same way with Kessel in Toronto too.
Oh, absolutely. Because I think what happens is
Which I don't know.
Kessel's there on the team, and he overstays his welcome. That's
There's
what happened in
that,
Toronto. That's what happened in Pittsburgh. It might happen in Arizona.
I don't know how Rick Tocchet likes him, because he doesn't seem like the type of guy that would like that kind of antics. Obviously, you would take the production that comes with Kessel, but you also have to take the off ice shit and everything else with him.
Right. There's a lot of moving pieces, but
oh yeah. But real quick, I didn't really get your take. What do you think of the Simmons signing?
Good for him. The man deserves to be paid. I just wasn't sure where. I was expecting him to kind of come back to Philly. Obviously wasn't expecting him to go to Pittsburgh. And like I said, the dark horse team was clearly New Jersey, which I didn't even know was interested in him.
No.
But this just gives him a lot more depth and a little bit more scoring too. And and also think about this: they now have someone kind of to protect Jack Hughes
and Hischier
and Nico Hischier
for a year.
So. Yeah, it's not a bad move at all.
I doubt it, but do you think he plays any different when he plays Philadelphia?
What do you mean?
When he has to play against Philadelphia?
Oh, when he has to play in Philly? Or against Philly? Not really. Because he'll understand. Like, everyone will understand. It's just part of the game. And I kind of hate to see...
Don't they start the season, or is that the home opener?
Home opener, I'm pretty sure.
Against New Jersey.
Yeah, because the Flyers are away for quite a while, remember?
And here's my favorite, Jeffrey. We haven't said this yet. Dave Haxtell has a new job in Toronto.
I forgot about it.
As
the
an
hacker.
assistant. He's going to work on the PK for Toronto. Because he did so well with Philadelphia.
Toronto, good luck. You're going to need it. I talked to my buddy Ron. He's a diehard Leafs fan. I say good luck, bud.
Hextall?
Yeah. I say good luck, bud. You're gonna need it. Mm-hmm. He's quite a character here.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. Yeah.
Yeah. Even the Lightning got a pretty. If McElhaney can kind of repeat what he did last year for Carolina, it's pretty good steal.
Well, for McElhaney,
and not even just that, because he is older, but he's not nearly going to have worry about us playing as much as he did with Carolina.
No, correct. Also,
Mrazek hasn't signed yet, has he?
I don't believe.
Or is he
so.
not a free agent?
No, he's a free agent, I believe. My thing is that.
Yeah, he is. He's not there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the Hurricanes are still still have Alexander Simmons' contract on their buyout history for another year or two.
Mm-hmm.
Oof! Wow. Yeah, but so for Tampa Bay, since they added what's his name? Excuse me, McElhaney. One of their lead writer for The Athletic, who covers Tampa Bay, Joe, I forget his last name, I apologize. He did mention that it does sound like their other backup now,
McElhaney.
not McElhaney.
Dominique.
Yes, it sounds like they're going to try to work out a trade for him. Louis Domingue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, again, they found another good goalie. And always, once again, against Flyers, always do well.
Yes.
That's pretty much how I am looking at these. They also signed Duchene for some reason.
Yeah.
Because they, why not make us look a little bad there?
Yeah.
Which, again, will probably mean more former Flyers are going to win the Stanley Cup.
Right. Because, of course.
Yes, because they also signed Braden Coburn.
Yeah.
Jeff's favorite player.
Absolutely. A little bit more info on the Aho offer sheet. GM Don Waddell for the Hurricanes said the team is reviewing the offer sheet and actually said, I'm actually surprised there wasn't more.
Okay. Well, they would have had to give up more.
Apparently, yeah. But apparently an announcement is coming soon. I don't know.
From Carolina or
possibly
from Montreal? Yeah, no, Montreal already announced it.
Yeah. Huh.
Yep. But while we're kind of thinking about it, at least I am. So there's still some moves that have to be signings that still have to be made, but the main ones have kind of been signed already.
Yeah.
The last remaining are kind of RFAs, and the bigger ones at least. Let's have some fun here, Jeffrey.
I'd love to have some fun.
Winners and losers.
Yeah. Right away.
You want to start with the winners?
I want to start with the losers.
Okay.
The Columbus Blue Jackets.
Which was kind of known.
Yes.
The Blue Jackets are the Islanders last year.
Yes. Here's why.
Even though, if you look at it now, getting Barry Trotz and everything, maybe they didn't have such a bad offseason. But
look at all that they have lost, all the pieces that they have lost,
and not even
so
just
far.
They have such trouble trying to land anyone big that they reached out and said, "Hey, would you be interested in an interview to Joe Pavelski?" And it was said he politely declined. I don't know why they had to add politely, but he declined.
Yeah.
It's Columbus.
Yeah. So they lost Panarin to New York, Bobrovsky to Florida, Duchene to Nashville. I don't believe they have McQuaid anymore. They lost Keith Kincaid, Ryan Dzingel. He's a free agent still, but either way, he's not coming back to.
They signed Ryan Murray.
Columbus. They did
2
sign
years,
Ryan Murray.
$9.2 million for sector.
Vitaly Abramov, Jonathan Davidson, Anthony Duclair. They lost a 2019 first-round pick, a fourth-round pick, and a seventh-round pick. They also don't have a 2020 second round pick and 2021 second round pick as well. They lost so many assets, and yet look how much they did to.
They did sign Gustav Nyquist.
That's a big
4
one.
years, 22 million,
That's a big
5.5
one.
cap hit.
I will admit that helps a lot. It's a step in the right direction, but considering the fact that all they lost,
well, obviously
that's
look
a
at this a
lot.
little later when we kind of talk about Columbus, but at the moment, your starter is Corpusalo,
yeah,
and you have a number one pair.
They did announce someone.
Oh,
from,
they have to resign Zach Werenski.
Yes, they do. He's one that I would not be surprised if teams try to offer sheet.
They have 17.3 million cap.
Wow.
They've lost too many people. They're gonna try their hardest to try to re-sign him.
Yeah. Where was it?
They did get Riley Nash last offseason, which was a pretty decent depth move. They still have Dubinsky, Atkinson. Obviously, they just re-signed Nyquist. And good old Boone Jenner.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who's going to have fun with this team, Jeffrey?
Who's that?
John Tortorella.
Oh, yeah.
Because, he is patient and has no temper at all.
But, yeah, also, apparently, so Bob McKenzie on TSN said the GM, Jarmo Kekalainen, will go the tandem of Jonas Corpusalo and Elvis Merzlikins. I can't pronounce his name right, but either way, that's your goalie tandem for Columbus, which is a little. I like Corpusalo. The other guy I don't know a whole lot about, considering the fact that I can't even pronounce his name right, unfortunately. Whew.
Merzlikins. Elvis.
Yep.
They're both 25, so they're both young.
Yeah, which is good.
But they're also both RFAs next offseason.
Yeah.
So Jonas has a lot to kind of live up to.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was always the thing with Columbus before, is that the team might be kind of meh, but you at least have Werenski, Jones, and you can have Bobrovsky to kind of feel kind of confident on going into a game.
Yeah.
But now that you lost all of them, and you knew you were going to lose them because it was no surprise that none of these guys wanted to come back. The only one that people probably thought of but weren't really thinking was Duchene.
Yeah.
And another one which I just kind of loser, at least. We're still in the winners and losers.
You brought this up earlier to me.
Yeah, because I just thought of it. The Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah.
They haven't done much today.
Not only, but look at all they have.
They have signed, I did see him here once, Nathan
Yeah.
Him.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Beaulier.
Yes.
1 year, $1 million.
Here's my problem, though, with Winnipeg. They have $22.8 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they have to re-sign Patrick Laine.
Yeah.
Yes, they have to re-sign Andrew Copp. And yes, they have to
they'll
re-sign
eat a good portion of
Kyle
that.
Connor, along with, if you want, Eric Comrie and Neil Pionk.
Mm-hmm.
But
you just let
you let Tyler Myers walk.
But, I mean, the team overall is still pretty good, even with some of the losses.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't do anything to really improve the team either. You lost pieces. You traded away, what's his face? Trouba for pretty much nothing, I think. I think it was only for, draft picks or something. I don't really... Hold on. I have the tracker up.
Yeah.
It was Neil Pionk and a 2019 first-round pick for Jacob Trouba. Okay, so they got a first-round pick from it.
Yeah.
Who'd they draft?
for
Winnipeg. They got a first-round pick.
I got it right here once it loads. They drafted with their first round pick, 20th overall, Ville Heinola, defenseman out of Finland.
Okay.
They drafted 2 defensemen, 2 centers, and a goalie. They only had 5 picks this draft.
Yeah, they didn't have much.
Oh.
That did get a first-round pick, which is
Right.
pretty valuable, but
Yeah.
I have no idea or anything about Neil Pionk. They pretty much just traded away RFAs and a first-round pick. Or at least they got the first-round pick, because they traded away that to get to get Hayes.
Yeah.
I think they traded away the first round.
Yeah, and also they lost Kevin Hayes. So.
Yeah. We have him now.
Yes.
Which, another one, he was just a halfway through the season thing, but still, not even. I have to say, out of the teams that have improved in the West, even Central-wise, Nashville, Colorado.
Nashville got better. Colorado got a lot better.
The Blues won the Stanley Cup, so I guess you kind of have to put them in there.
Yeah, you can. I feel like you have to, just to show respect to the Cup champs.
Mm-hmm. So it's not really a guarantee you're going to make the playoffs again next season. At least looking at it now.
Yeah.
The team still, I will say, the team still is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to lose Line A. I think they'll be able to sign him. No one's going to offer sheet him. I don't think they're going to have, with the caps they have, there's going to be no problem signing any of them.
From a few team sources, Kyle Connor got calls again today from other teams. It's not, at this point, not clear whether that will lead to anything or not. Again, he's an RFA, so that could be another offer sheet.
It could be, but if you lose Kyle Connor, that's another piece you just lost.
Yeah.
You're losing pieces, you're not gaining pieces.
Exactly. With all that money, and that's a lot to lose.
It is.
Because if you already lost so much, you got to do something, because clearly you didn't land any of the big fish names.
No.
Honestly, for Winnipeg, if I were them, one of the better names out there that I would sign right now if I could, Marcus Johansson.
Yeah.
Because that's at least a start.
That's a depth move, at least.
Exactly.
Because you at least your top 3 is still good, because this line is not even your top line.
Yeah.
That's how good you are.
And
your problem really is kind of more so your depth, which is why the deadline they made.
It surprises me, actually.
What?
Derek Brassard's still out there. Justin Williams. Jake Gardner is still out there. Anders Lee.
Mm-hmm. You could try to go after Lee.
Yeah.
If the Maple Leafs, or not the Maple Leafs, if the Islanders don't want him.
Is out there. He got bought out by the Stars. Brian Boyle's out there still. It was rumored he was going to get Nashville, with Nashville signing Duchene. I don't know how likely that is now. Ryan DeSingle's still out there.
At the same time, he's not going to be worth much.
Yeah.
They have only a little over $5 million. They re-signed Colton Sissons and Rocco Grimaldi. Those are the only signings that they make.
Yep.
So if you can get him a little one, it could help a little. But
so they obviously liked what they saw from Boyle last year.
Matt Duchene's going to be their second-line center, isn't he?
Who?
Is Duchene going to be the first-line center, or is Ryan Johansson going to be the first-line center? Or is one of them going to play wing? Because both of them have right wing and left wing next to them, so. They also have Kyle Turris. And you already know how good their defense is, even after losing Subban.
Mm-hmm.
And another one that you said going back to the winners and losers, you said the Sharks.
Yeah,
They did land. They did. They
did
didn't lose.
re-sign Eric Carlson.
Yeah.
They did re-sign
But in
Timo
order to-
Meier.
But it was one of those things that we were always saying before is that you could really only sign one of them.
Yeah.
Either Carlson or Pavelski. So one of them was going to lose or leave.
Yeah.
Especially cap-wise, it seemed that way. Especially if you wanted to sign Mayer, which obviously happened.
Right.
But, yeah, that was a kind of a bigger loss. You just lost your captain.
Right. So now, because here's my thing is,
And didn't they lose someone else too?
Donskoy and Gus Nyquist.
Oh, yeah.
So again, I think they lost some pretty good pieces, of course. So now, not only do you need a new captain, but you need some more. You need quite a bit of pieces that can join the team.
Yeah. Which is kind of what we were talking about before when you're talking about the Sharks.
Yeah. So my question for you right now, if the San Jose Sharks, when they're making the new announcement for the next captain, do you want to go someone? Because looking at some of their players, because I already have a few in mind, but before we throw their names out, I just want to kind of go over their ages. So Logan Couture is the first one comes to mind. He's 30 years old. He's signed until 2025, 2026 at least. He's here for quite a while. I would like him as a captain option. Brent Burns, maybe. He's 34. He's here till 2025, 2026. I was thinking
if they get Joe Thornton back, you can give him the captain.
Right, but for me, as much as I like Jumbo Joe, I don't want to give him the captaincy back only for a year, maybe two tops, and then that's it. When then he retires, I want to give it to.
They don't seem that worried about getting rid of a captain, and Couture already has the assistant captaincy. So.
Right, but what I'm thinking is give someone, or I doubt it, but give. I don't know if Hurdle will be ready for the captaincy yet.
Definitely not.
I would at least give him an A. Give the C to either Burns or Couture.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly Vlasic.
Yeah, you could give. I would give Vlasic the A.
Yeah, give Vlasic the A.
Give Vlasic. Yeah, I think Braun might have had. No, he didn't.
No. Actually, this is interesting. Oh no, because Thornton had the other. It was Couture, Thornton, and then Pavelski.
Yeah, so they'll probably just give it back to Thornton when he comes back if they re-sign him.
I would be shocked if they did.
They have $7.8 million. They have to sign LeBlanc, and Gambrel. And then 2 depth guys. Or 2 guys in their system. 4 guys in their system.
Yeah.
Which isn't going to be too much, I would have to believe.
Yeah. So.
And Aaron Dell. Oh, no, that's next season, sorry.
No, I think they're trying to move on from Dell.
All right. Never mind on Dell then.
I think it sounds like they're trying to trade him.
Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah.
For a team that wants, I'm going to say this, but this is just me. Another team that I think, even though they did a little bit, I would say on the fence of loser or not.
Blues?
What?
Were you going to say the Blues?
No, I was going to say the Penguins.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
You did get Alex Galchenyuk. You did, but that's kind of it.
Yeah. Penguins did just sign defenseman David Warsofsky and Andrew Agazino to 2-year contracts. Warsofsky, they welcome back to the club. He was just recently in Colorado, so they can welcome him back. He's a pretty solid defenseman. It's good to see him back in the organization.
Mm-hmm.
Agazino, I don't know much about, but it's 2-way deals both carry an AAV of $700,000, so obviously shorter terms.
Obviously, it seemed like you did have to get rid of Kessel, but you do lose that production in Kessel. You have to find that somewhere else now.
Yeah.
Which obviously can just maybe finding Galchenyuk, but you only have him for a year. And again, you didn't really solve your cap issue problem. 1.59. And nothing against Tanev, but you gave him a little too much money.
Yes.
or not too much money, too long of a contract. 3.5 a year isn't terrible, but for when it's 6 years plus, it's a little much. Those are probably my 3. 2 losers, 1 kind of possible loser, and I could I could see the Sharks in that round too. The big thing for them was getting Carlson back,
right?
But still, they didn't really do much either, and building up their depth at least. Or maybe they don't have that cap too. But I was gonna say maybe they can possibly be one of the guys that go after.
Yeah. Also, I missed this earlier. Anton Strawman to the Florida Panthers, 3 years, $16.5 million, $5.5 million cap hit.
And now Jeffrey.
Yes.
Because we kind of did 3 losers each.
Yes.
Let's kind of look at the winners here.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a couple teams to kind of choose from.
I say Nashville.
Yeah.
You could argue.
You could argue Nashville.
Colorado probably.
You can put the Rangers in there.
Rangers because of Panarin.
Mm-hmm. And not just that, just off-season wise. They also got
off-season wise
Trouba, and then
obviously the draft.
Yeah. I would actually might give it to the Blackhawks.
Yeah, no, they made a lot of great depth moves.
Not even just today, because they traded for Ole Mata. They got Shaw back.
Mm-hmm.
They will no longer have Cam Ward.
Nope.
Even though it was only for a year. They do have Duchene now, too.
Yes, that was pretty big for them.
So they're obviously a team that's looking to improve. If Montreal can get Sebastian Aho, I might put them in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say the winners, even though Nashville did lose Subban, I will give it to Nashville.
Yeah, because they got Matt Duchene, and that helps a lot. Not only that, but they locked him up for quite a while.
I'd even put Dallas in there.
Yes, no, Dallas is a big one. They got Pavelski and Perry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for
Andre
me, I think
Sekera, adds depth.
I'd say Nashville, Dallas, and the Rangers for my 3.
Okay.
What are yours?
For me, I would go. Yeah, definitely Nashville because not only did they sign Duchene, they added some depth in Daniel Carr for a year. That certainly helps there. I think this certainly makes them stronger.
Forward-wise. That was always the problem for them, was kind of forward-wise.
I know they're trying to re-sign Brian Boyle, most likely.
That's a good depth move, fourth line-wise.
I'd say Florida, Sergei Bobrovsky. They got their goalie. I know it wasn't that surprising. They also got Anton Strawman, Noel Achari. I think that was pretty big for them there. 3 years. That hurts Boston because he's a pretty big difference for them. Brett Connolly is a huge one for Florida. I think Florida.
You could even throw the Devils in there.
Yeah, no, the Devils, they got Wayne Simmons. That really helps.
Not even just today. I was just talking. They got Subban.
Right.
They also got Jack Hughes.
Yes. Wow. Apparently, Aho has accepted the Canadians' offer sheet. Now we just have to wait to see if the Hurricanes are going to match it.
Wow. So you think that's more so he doesn't really want to be in Carolina? Or he wants
so
the money?
money?
Yeah.
I think it's more so the money.
If it's more so the money, then he'd be okay with signing back with Carolina.
Right. But I don't. Ooh, this is interesting now.
Because I can kind of get not wanting to go back to Carolina because obviously you had all that stuff last year and everything with those jerks and everything, and you got the fans all back into it. But you are playing in Carolina, not really the best hockey kind of town to be playing in, but I think now they might start coming more just because of those jerks, and if they, even though it was just for, I think, just that year, if they still do the off the after a game stuff when they win.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Man, a lot happening. I love this. Dude, this is one of my favorite days ever. This, the draft, trade deadline. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's it. This a little interesting news from Pierre LeBrun. Hearing that the Montreal Canadiens first discussed the offer sheet scenario involving Braden Point, but then discussed shifting gears to Sebastian Aho after thinking they'd have a better chance to get the player.
Mm-hmm.
Which is true, because I feel like Tampa Bay... Well, no, it's like yes and no, because... Hold on, I need to bring up Tampa Bay's cap situation, because obviously getting rid of 18 million. 8.6?
Compared to the 20-some that Carolina has?
Where I just feel
22.
like Tampa Bay would have had a tougher time matching the offer.
Well, I would have maybe tried that one just because, one, you hurt the Lightning.
Yes.
And two, you take the Lightning's player and helps you.
Exactly.
You also have the cap, too, and they'd have a harder time getting it than Carolina does.
Yeah.
But out of all the moves that we're seeing today, they're kind of moves that teams had to make.
Yes.
In order to try to compete again. The teams that didn't really do much, the ones that we say are losers, that didn't really do much to kind of really get better or not. Obviously, in the Atlantic, it's very tough. So obviously, Montreal has to, and Florida both had to be kind of aggressive. What's Buffalo's like?
Cap situation?
12.7. Okay.
Yeah, there's a few teams out there currently after today that are hurting.
Because they did sign Jeff Skinner, and they did acquire Jimmy Vesey, so they kind of hope that kind of works out in their favor. They'd obviously have another year of Darlene if he can be another shutdown, but seeing the moves that these teams make, if you're looking at it now, the middle part of it's kind of close. I think the wild card got a lot more interesting this year. More so in the Metro, because I don't think there's a set team that can take the Metro yet.
No, it's literally
we saw that last year that no real team really could. I think you could possibly say that about the Central too.
Yeah. Also, for the Bruins, they announced 7 transactions. They signed Par Lindholm to a 2-year deal. Forward Brett Ritchie, they did sign him to a 1-year deal, $1 million cap hit, which is interesting. Brendan Gaunce to a 1-year, 2-way contract. Maxim Legacy, 1-year deal. Josiah Didier to a 1-year AHL contract. Connor Clifton, 3-year contract. Ryan Fitzgerald, 1-year contract.
Obviously, we'll go into more of these teams in depth when we kind of cover each one.
Yeah.
But now, after we get done in the Pacific, Jeffrey, I want to talk about the Metro.
Absolutely. Because the Metro just got a whole lot more interesting, sir.
Mm-hmm. Central got a little more interesting, too. Colorado, I think Colorado still saw this, too. They just squeaked into the playoffs last year.
Yep.
And then lost. No, they won, actually. And then in the second round, they lost. What it was.
Yes.
In 7.
Yes.
they were that close, so they felt like had to make these moves.
Not wrong.
We'll see how everything kind of plans out, because anything can really happen. But if you're looking at it now, I don't know who I'd say outside of the knowns. Obviously, Tampa Bay, Toronto, and Boston. I don't know who would be in the playoffs.
I don't know. That's a good question. I think the Devils are going to take a good step.
I think you can throw the Capitals in there. I don't know where, but I think one
Capitals
of the three.
are going to be in
I don't
there.
think they'll be wild card. I just think they're one.
Let's look at the Metro as a whole, just like not necessarily
just briefly.
Yeah, just briefly. Just like where they were this past season. So for the Metro, it was Washington, Islanders, Pittsburgh, Carolina, and Columbus all made the playoffs. Philly was the next closest team out of the Metro. It wasn't even that close. 16 points out behind Columbus. Then New York, then New Jersey. I think Washington's going to be up there as well.
Yeah.
Carolina, it's a maybe for me. I had them in the beginning of the season last year making the playoffs. This year, I'm not sure, because if they lose out on Sebastian Aho,
that's a big loss.
That's a huge loss for them. I think that's the factor for me.
I think the bottom two maybe might change, but possibly the Flyers, if things go differently this season, I could possibly see them in there.
Possibly, yeah. It would be more of a wild card spot than anything.
Yeah.
Columbus, I think they're out.
And just because Pittsburgh has Crosby, you kind of have to throw them in there.
Also, with Galchenyuk now, that helps.
True. And you still have Murray. Yeah, no, he hasn't done the best the past couple seasons, but yeah. We'll probably do a deeper dive into these standings later. And do our predictions, because we like doing those here.
Yeah, for predictions.
Mm-hmm. The one thing we're all waiting for, though, is even Flyers fans and fans of the Maple Leafs, Lightning, Jets, just waiting for those RFAs to get signed.
Yes.
Because you could even argue that even though they've made some moves, the Flyers are kind of in the middle.
Yeah, again, these are all depth moves that the Flyers have made.
Yeah.
And, all right, so I feel like I just have to say this for the record. I'm seeing so many negative comments from Flyers fans online about all these moves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they really understand the idea behind this. The fact that they still need to resign Travis Konechny, Ivan Provorov, and Scott Lawton to deals, that's going to take up a majority of their cap space. So you really only have room to make all these depth moves.
They have almost $15 million.
Yeah. And I feel like they're gonna eat up about like 12 to 13 of that mil. Most of it Provorov.
Yeah, Provorov will get like half of it.
Yeah, no, that's realistic.
Konechny will probably get a quarter of that and a little bit.
Rest of Lawton, basically. Yeah.
Oh yeah, also Abe Kubel.
Oh yes. I keep forgetting they sent an RFA contract.
But actually, we'll get to this a little later. But now thinking about it, because there is a fourth line spot, I wouldn't be surprised if Kubel is that last spot.
It's possible, because Corbin Knight's no longer in Philadelphia or in the NHL.
Corbin Knight's not there. Ryan Hart's now gone.
Hartman,
sorry. Hartman's gone. Bailey's gone.
Yep. Pitlick's going to be in the AHL probably.
So that's going to actually be an interesting battle now.
Yeah. You could really see Morgan Frost make the team.
Yeah. He was one of the, for that development camp, one of the guys that kind of shined. Obviously, development camp's a completely different thing from once you hit training camp and everything. So a long ways away. And unfortunately, Jeffrey, the fun in hockey right after the Sebastian Aho stuff and everything. It's gonna be over for a while.
Don't tell me that, Mike. Do not tell me that.
I just did.
I don't need that for my conscience or my hockey heart.
Mm-hmm. But that does just leave us with what's gonna happen next season?
Yeah.
Those fun predictions that we always like doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely, sir.
Yeah, but I think this is a good podcast so far.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's extremely exciting.
Yep.
It's great for the NHL.
Obviously, we would have preferred to be on earlier, but scheduling kind of conflicts
It's all good.
prevented us
Happens.
from kind of
But the
breaking
good news
things,
is,
but
got done everything.
we did break some things. We broke the Aho news.
Yes,
so.
which is, I thought that was very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I we haven't seen an offer sheet in 6 years.
Yeah.
6 years.
So we'll see. Will they take it, or
I think Carolina will match it.
that's your prediction?
That's my prediction.
Okay.
Carolina will match the offer of the Montreal Canadiens for Sebastian Aho. 5 years, $8.45 million. Was that it?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're gonna match it.
I can see that. And if they don't,
If
I
they
wonder
don't,
if they
get a first-round pick, a second-round
well,
pick, and a
there's that,
third-round
and
pick.
I wonder if because I keep saying this because if Johnson is out there,
Johansson, yes.
Johansson or whatever, I feel there's going to be a couple teams that are going to be
Yeah.
knocking on his door. And I bet
I feel
Carolina's
like-
going to be one of
I
them.
feel like Carolina, Winnipeg, they're going to be the top two teams, especially if
I would throw a wild card in there and say San Jose.
San Jose as well. Yes, that's a good option. I think all three of those teams are going to be in for Marcus Johansson. Yeah,
I would love him in orange and black.
I would love that, but
I
I
don't
think
know
the
if they'd
price
be
is too
able to-
much.
Yeah,
I think the price is too much.
Afford it.
So we'll see what happens.
Yep. So until then, we'll keep you updated on everything. But see ya.